Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair. If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gifts, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure?
It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Take that down. Good to see you. Welcome to the morning grind. I hope that you are having a great morning, that you've been productive. I hope you had a good evening. I had a meeting with manufacturers last. So that ran a bit late, but that was great. I really need to do it. So we got more information on Terratiles and things like that going on. That was fantastic. There's a lot going on this holiday season. Of course, I've got a lot coming up this weekend. I've got a Christmas party on Saturday for lunch, and then I've got one on Monday night. So Monday night, there will not be an evening live stream. Be at a family Christmas party Monday night. But I'm also trying to do a field trip in between these Christmas parties, which I got to get ready for, and I also got to get ready for this field trip. I've got a total of 17 hour drive time. That's both ends. Going there and back. Is that right? 17? Well, about. I mean, it's a little bit of drive time by the time you have breaks and things like that. It'll probably be about a 17-hour total trip. Go out to do something in the Geekverse. I'm not saying what it is yet, but I'll be putting that out on Instagram. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to stream on Sunday. I'm going to leave my Christmas party at lunch, after lunch. I'm going to drive for 8 hours. Then I'm going to be there. I'll be there Sunday morning. Hopefully, I'll be able to stream from there. We will see. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. But even if I can take video of it so we can take a look at it later, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. So that's going on here. Friday got we will watch one of the dinner and a board games that I have re-edited from season one and improved the audio on, light re-editing, and then painting, because I'm not ready to go on to my new pile of dinner and a board game yet. So that looks like how this is shaped up. I'm going to skip the morning messages today because last time, I don't know if they were corrupted or something like that, but I didn't get to fix them. There were other problems anyway, so we will get back to morning messages later. Bill is here. Hello, Bill. Hello. It's so good to see you. Glad to have you here. I've got a different kind of drink today. Anybody ever tried this? Liquid Death. So I was at the grocery store yesterday picking up some groceries, and I was like, what in the world? I think it's just well marketed sparkling water. It kind of tastes like other sparkling waters, but cool branding. Anybody tried that? All right, so let's breathe and then sip. And then we'll get into our main topic today is Vast Grimm. We're going to take a look at the Vast RPG. So let's breathe in, deep inhale, complete exhale. And now a sip. All right, wonderful. So this morning, breathing and sipping is always a great way to start the day. So we are going to be looking at this right here this morning. This is Vast Grimm, and this was done by a fine Brian Cullen right here, and Brian and Ross Brandt. Now I don't know Ross. Trey's here. Hello, Trey. I don't know Ross, but Brian was going to contact him and see if he was going to be in the chat as well. So we might get to chat with here in the chat. If Brian, if you or Ross are in the chat, please let us know. So I backed this on Kickstarter. It's published by Creature Curation, which is Brian's company. Oh, there we go, right there. So Creature Curation. There's Brian right there. And then Ross can't join us. Okay, so Curation though, that is Brian. So definitely check out that YouTube channel as well. He's got all kinds of stuff over there on the YouTube channel, especially because he sculpts 3 monsters. And so he's put different videos about his sculptures up on and you can you can see the art inside the books. The sound echoing again? What could be causing that? Echoing for everyone? Okay, Infinite Black is the publisher. So Infinite Black, so we got both logos here, but Infinite Black is the publisher. Is the audio echoing? Oh, Trey's echoing here. Just one moment. Let me see if I can fix that. Why would all of a sudden this have started this problem? Because I'm not doing anything different. Let me see. Let me try to put on a different. Hang on, just one second. I wouldn't think it has anything to do with like the speakers or something like that, but it's possible. I mean, Trey asks, do I have 2 microphones on? I don't think so. You know, I haven't in the past. Let me go over here to my speaker and go to. So now I'm hearing I got audio coming through the headphones.
Can you hear this? Does this change things? It may sound different, but did that take care of the echo?
that's a different speaker that I'm coming through. Excuse me, a different mic that I'm coming through now. Does that sound any different? I'm sure it sounds different, but did that handle the echo situation? We will see. Because I tell the software what audio I want to come through, and I just pick one mic. So, all right, let's try this for just a moment and then see what you see. Okay, I'm in a 10 barrel, but no echo. Okay, that's because I'm using this right here as a speaker. So no echo this time. Okay, let me try to switch back and just see what happens. You let me know, Trey, which one's better. Audio. So I'm going to go back to my Yeti microphone right here. So now I should be on the good microphone, but did that all of a sudden create an echo? Well, now Bill says I don't hear an echo, but the image doesn't match the audio for me a few seconds off. Echo is back. Okay, so which is the echo or this? I think I should go to this to not have the echo. Let me see if I have another microphone option. Oh, Andrew says he doesn't hear an echo right now. I wonder why we're all of a sudden having this problem. Let me try one other audio. I've never before, but so that's probably not going to be a good microphone because that's up here on this camera. That's probably not a good one. I don't want the echo. Oh, Yeti is better? Yeti is better? BGD says Yeti is better? Okay, well, let's go Yeti then. All right, and let's move forward. All right. Refresh the page and the sync is fine now. Okay. All right. Morning. Reverb, maybe? Well, I wanted a weird setting over here. All right. Seems like Twitch is the same for me, although second ahead of YouTube. Drakenism. We can try to keep going for this stream. Yep, we're just going to keep going. All right, we got to call that Yeti is better. So all right, go Yeti here. That's weird. I'm not doing anything different. I thought I had all the tech kind of sorted out for the show, and so who knows? All right. Well, all right. So here we go. We are taking a look at Vast Grimm. Oh, so I was going to try to bring this up here over here because I've got the book here. So I'm going to open it up and take a look at this. Although I also have the PDF. Provided it in both PDF and in hardback copies. And actually, there are two different types of PDFs that he provided. So Trey says Vast Grimm is amazing. So here is the book. So if we take a look at the back here and what this RPG is about, it says each miserable day that passes, the universe inches closer to inevitable demise. Vast Grimm is a rules light RPG where everyone is band together in order to keep humanity alive. Brian runs great. Brian says Brian runs great Kickstarters, and he says it's awesome. All right, so it's a hardback book, and a lot of the art will be double page spreads. It's intended to be looked at double page spreads, which is why I think on the PDF he provides both the single pages and the double pages as well. So this is the book. It's a great size. I like small books like this. And Brian and I interviewed Brian before on the tabletop show where we talked about the creation of digital art and everything like that. The digital art, but also because he does the sculpture. So this was illustrated in a digital and physical way. So you can see where we talked about the sculpting of the physical stuff, and then it was blended with digital art as well. Thanks, Trey. Creature Curation says. So what I'm going to do here is bring up, and what I'm going to do is this is the. The version shows the pages in spread, so I think it's gonna be best to look at so that we can see the art here. So we're gonna do kind of what we always do. We saw on the back it says this is a Vast Grimm is a rules light RPG where everyone is band together in order to keep humanity alive, and it's available at vastgrimm.com. So looked at Mork Borg because this right here is compatible with Mork Borg. So we did a read through of Mork Borg to kind of understand what that was. And I had wanted to be sure that we did that before we got into Vast Grimm. I was like, well, I got to understand what Mork Borg is before I get to Vast Grimm. So we've looked at that before. So art by Ross Grant, Brian Colin, David LaRocca, and Alan Panicle. Oh, Carrie Drake, and Russ Williams. So lots of people contributed to the art of this book. Let's see. The earth that once was has been sliced through, gnawed at, chewed up, and spit out. All that remains are floating vegetables anchored in the fragmented carcass of an exploded planet. And the ships, is there fuel in those cores? Is it even possible to evade and escape the inevitable? I think not. Those who still remain are vessels within vessels, waiting to be fed upon. Let us not forget the space stations. Perhaps there is still civilization left in these pockets. But when will a dormant awaken to become one of the Grimm? When will they be called to feast upon their souls? I pray that today is not the day where I am beckoned to become one of them. You are still alive, somehow managing to survive. If you are one of the truly lucky, you have not been affected by worms. Who are you? You are ravaged by war, pierced together by remnants of bots flesh left of your body. A twisted biochemist, shoving needles in your arms, and next fix will be the one that saves you and what's left of humanity. Or perhaps you are a survivor, like a cockroach, doing whatever necessary to stay alive, even if it means the rest of your legion must perish. It does not matter. They are close now. With so few souls left to feed upon, your days in this verse are limited. Will you choose anyone on your journey, or will you save your own? Will you make it through the gate of infinite stars and escape to another, or will you end up like so many before you, inhabited and controlled by the parasites that are the Vast Grimm? This is the direct inside of the book. And so D66 Steal from the Dead, Cosmic Treasures. Tables are in here like with Mork Borg. So that's part of this, like coming over from Mork Borg into Vast Grimm as well. Lots to roll on to decide different things. So let's, I think we've got the feel. Let's look and see if we can figure out how to actually play the game. Now we've got the verse here. This is one of the double page spreads that is really cool. Setting material. Okay, so a lot of setting material in here. Let's see here. The endings, scrawled in the blood of Fatima. As it was written, shall pass, whether it shall be slow and agonizing or ferociously fast, they will devour us all. It's always near, and as such, the game master GM to die on the dawn of each day. When the resulting roll in a torment will occur, the die used will be selected by the GM and the group. When there is a torment, the GM must roll D66 to determine which one occurs. There should never be the same torment twice in the verse. So, the endings as prophesied by etched in their own blood. So this is so if we roll a 1, there's a the die used will be selected by the GM and the group. Okay, D20, D12, D10, D6, D2. When the time of the seventh torment is inflicted upon the verse, they will have consumed the gate of infinite stars will have been shattered, and humanity lost forever. There is no point in continuing on. Give in to the Vast Grimm and become one day. So this is at the dawn of each day. You make. Oh, Trey, very nice. Trey says, Creature Curation, thank you and the team for a great game and inspiration for space horror. So, okay, character creation, but we typically skip the through to try to get into how does the game actually played? What are our resolutions? So let's see if we can find that. See, this is some of the physical sculpture right here that Brian did. You can tell right there. So this is a physical sculpture, and then we've got the digital overlays. That's the same way with this up here. This, I believe, is a physical sculpture right here. This tooth. Let's see. This is like a character class or something like that? Hit points, misspent youth, battle scars, rating, idiosyncrasy, weapons, encumbrance, favors, powers that be, looking for like action morales. We might just have to start with character creation then. But I think we're rolling a d20. I think like Mork Borg, we're rolling a d20 and modifying and going for target numbers. Let's see here. Your Legion, condemnate random ships, retro zombies. That is also a physical sculpture right there. Brian and I, how he created that. Big worm, the Grimm. Yeah, I bet we're into stuff now. So okay, so into like the creatures and stuff. So I guess we're gonna have to go back to character creation. Now, let's just work through character creation then and see what this is all about. The cover physical sculpture creature Brian is confirming. So he says all the rules you need are on one page and the back cover. Okay, so let's go to that back cover. Okay, so here is how we play. Okay, so we've got combat initiative is a D6, 1 to 3 enemies begin, PCs begin. Individual initiative is agility plus D6. Melee, D12 strength, ranged. So I guess that's like the number we're trying to roll. Ranged weapons go off presence. Defense goes off of agility. So crits are on natural 20. Attack ×2 damage. Reduce armor protection 1 tier. Defense PC gains a free attack. Natural 1 weapon breaks or use fumble. Defense PC takes 2 time armor is reduced by 1 tier. I remember tiers from Mork Borg. So armor tiers 1, 2, and 3. Armor tier 1 negative D2 damage, and Infinite Black does have D2 coins that would probably work great for this. 2 is negative D4 damage, -2 on ability and tests. -3 is negative damage, negative D6 damage, -4 tests, -2 on defense tests. At points you are broken, and you must roll D4. You either fall unconscious for D4 rounds, awaken with D4 hit points after that. On a 2, roll D6. 1 to 5 severed limb, reduce agility by 1, or 5. You lost an eye, reduce presence by 1. Can't act for 1d rounds. Or actually, that's the 6. Okay, sorry, 6 here. 6. Lost eye, reduced presence. Can't act for D4 rounds, and then become active with 1d4 hit points. 3 is hemorrhage. Death in D2 hours unless treated. All tests are DR 15 for the first hour, DR 18 in the last hour. Or a 4, roll a D4, 1 to 2 eye, reduce presence by 1, or 3 to 4, you are dead. At negative HP, you are super. So resting, sit for you get back D4 hit points. Sleep for a full night, D6 hit points. No food or drink, 0 hit points. 3 days without food or drink, lose D4 HP per day. Infected by a worm, 1 HP plus 1 per HP per day without food. Battery charging, 24 charges, plugged in, recharge 3 charges per hour, solar charging 2 per hour. So abilities, we've got 4 of these here: agility, presence, strength, and toughness. Defend, balance, float, swim, flee. That would all come off of agility. Presence is perceive, aim, charm, use tech, pilot, and wield neuromancy. And then strength is crush, lift, strike, grab. Toughness is resist cold, heat, and surviving. Okay, so obviously we're very combat focused here. So the rules here, we've got information about how to actually fight things. So I'm getting a whole bunch of things here in Vast Grimm. Now, okay, so then let's go up and go to, I guess we'll go to character creation then and find out what we are doing there. Okay, so to create a character, we need to select a class or randomly roll. Follow the class instructions for equipment and weapons. Roll for abilities, hit points. Roll personality traits on the table. Randomly acquire starting equipment. Spend some of your credits. Give your character a name, though it will quickly be forgotten once infected by the Grimm. Okay, so let's go to. We do have table for earliest memories, abilities, skills. So for an earliest memory, abilities, part metal, 3d6 plus 2 strength, wires crossed in the blank. Oh, so this is actually, okay, this is a man-sheen. I think this is telling me that if you are playing a man-sheen, so this is one option. Is this a character class or is this like a race? Did it tell us to choose a race? Nope. So is this a character class? Man-sheen. You don't truly belong anywhere except in battle with your legion. For war, your humanity has been melded with the sharp culinary forged for your flesh, even if your mind has not. Like all man-sheened, the sharp, ravaging steel claws of your grated metal hand have saved your ass while in the trenches. Playing one of those, we've got earliest memories. Here is your abilities. And then with one of the following skills, roll D6, like light-handed, bot eyes, ship for brain, taser face, rusty pincer, cyber kitty. I guess this is Soul Survivor. So I guess this is another character class here. Wherever you go, a dark cloud looms over your filthy bug head. You drag it along with you like a dead dog, darkening those you keep company with. But what can be done? The shadows are where you thrive. As bleak, you will profit, or at least be the last to die. So traumatic loneliness, roll d6. Here's your abilities. Scrawny, 3d6 minus 2, cockroach. All presence and toughness tests have their DR reduced by 2. Roll d6 on the weapon table and d2 on the arm. And then you have skills, roll d6. Things like shrunken stomach, last inevitable escape. The lost technomaniac ends with 1d6 times 10 credits and 1d4 favors, HP, toughness, plus d4. So you found a rock and stayed on it. It was quiet. Allow your mind to dissect and analyze the tributes you had, gaining a true understanding of neuromancy. But then the Grimm came, and somehow now you're being thrust from solitude to join your legion. All of those boring chatter and yammering noise clutters your mind. So your abilities are here. Visionary, so that's what your presence is. You're frail, so you've got less strength. Starting equipment. Do not roll on the second D12 chart with 2 random tributes. Roll D4 weapon table and roll D2 on the armor. Arcane beginnings, roll D6 and they skill as well. You also begin with one of the following roll D6. It's like dialed in, silencer, Borg bat. You have a small cybernetic winged rat, HP D4. See through its eyes and hear through its ears on a small techno tablet. Well, that's cool. Twist biochemist. You became infected with the parasite while trying to find a means to the knowledge of your impending disgusting transformation and has given you a unique view of life. Do you use your skills to help humanity or fall bleakly into a stinking abyss of self-pity? Begins with 60-10 credits and D2 favors, HP toughness plus D6. So addicted to science, we roll here on D6. Ravenous addictions led you to a life of science, so you could satiate never-ending cravings for pharma. Or born into a metameth den on Marauder's cryo, your parents were thieves and addicts. Abilities, you're educated, so you get more presence. Puny scholar, you have less strength. Inner fortitude, 3d6 plus 1 toughness. Do not roll on the weapons table. Start with an inoculation dart gun. I guess that's what the inoculation dart gun. 20 holds 8 doses and D2 on the armor table. You carry a portable nanotech laboratory and an inoculator gun. You have spent your youth and now likely your life looking for the key to neutralize the Grimm. You ain't found shit, but you keep trying. You receive 2 random D8 creations per day as you tinker with a total of D doses. So with 2 of these skills each day, Saturday your sketchy laboratory database deletes the file. You must start over. Treacherous Merc. You're a total bastard. You generally think only of yourself, and anyone that stands against you deserves what they get. A punch to the mouth or a blast to the chest. You're not above selling out a friend if it makes you a fat stack of credits. Or get you closer to escaping the Grimm. Money talk walks. You are tattooed on your back. Money talks bullshit walks are tattooed on your black heart. You understand space travel and can probably pilot the ship out of this hellhole. Increased toughness, let's see, but blundering, so you have a little bit less agility. So you're rolling for here. So this is 3d6. Kind of reminds me of the roll 3d6 in classic Dungeons. But you're getting a modifier to your 3d6 roll based on your particular character class. Unpredictable soldier, a hero with a heart of greed. You come from a long line of private security professionals. Or once a promising officer, your lack of good judgment in an encounter with another legion cost you everything. It was all because of a misunderstanding. Again, with one of the following skills, such as Quick Draw McGraw. You have a small apparatus attached to your arms that allow the fire 2 small energy pistols. Roll twice on attack and d6 damage for each. Only good for 1 attack per combat, and you always go first in your legion for initiative. Emo Bot. I like this page spread. We're talking about how much fun it was to create this RPG with all of this art, because in Mork Borg style, the layout is kind of chaotic. We talked about that when we were on Mork Borg, or reading through Mork Borg. The layout's kind of chaotic. It's art filled. It's obviously using a lot of the art to bring out the feeling of the RPG. Does anybody have a favorite one that they'd want to look at? It says or play. Emobot, you really feel all the feels. You might even have a soul if the Grimm didn't remove any need for one. Mechanical mind and body are immune to infection and infestation, but infection isn't the only way to check out this verse. You hate the Grimm. It breaks your mechanical heart to watch them take away all the people that share your feels. They must go. You use your superior knowledge of technology to bid to help the future, or just a path to get out of this weeping sore of a shithole system. Sentient bot, formerly a communication. This is roll d6 for I guess what you were. Formerly a communications bot medical facility. You have an innate knowledge of nanobot healing technology. Or as a science bot working on cures for infestation, you developed a certain small amount of fascination and attachment to those deadly little worms. They can't hurt you. Why would you hurt them? Ability skills. You get one, such as steel skin. You're a metal exoskeleton, level 3 armor without any agility penalties. Or data sap. You can interface with almost any computer as long as it has power. Presence DR9 test. Once interfaced, all but the most secret of the files open to your probing and edits. Highly encrypted files can be accessed with a PR17 test. The Devout. And here's a custom dice also created for this. So that's what's going on with the Devout. You have more than blind faith. You are a truly devout disciple of Fatima. You have studied the scriptures and traveled to the mausoleum of they, letting your blood spill into the altar of convergence. Around you fear the Grimm. You are doing all so that you can usher in the reign of they. Presence, not so great strength, or a little bit lower strength. Starting equipment, do not roll on the second D12 chart. Instead, start with 2 random worms in cryo freeze. Start roll a D4 on the weapon table and a D2 on the armor table. You have unwavering discipline, such as the Grimm came to your planet, looking into your eyes, and infected somebody else. After the coming of age, you left your religious spread the beatific word of they. Your bones ache and buzzing sounds fill your ears whenever the Grimm are near. It's like the tasties want you to know that where they are. Skills. Symbol of they. When you present this pitted, rusty unable made of iron to the Grimm, their morale for D6 rounds. or Mausoleum Dirt. You collected a sack. This is probably the one that I'd want to play. Mausoleum Dirt. You collected a sack filled with dirt on your pilgrimage to the mausoleum of they. When sprinkled in the air, it will wisp away to any hidden cracks. Or all as a discipline of Fatima, you were given a body made of woven gut worm silk to wear clothes or armor. When worn, an additional -2 damage reduction. Creature Ken Brian says, the first time playing, we have an online character generator that allows you to click a button and obliterate the character. So when the character goes down, you get to obliterate and then create another one online. Easily online. The Harvester. So lots of cool different. Oh, we got one more. So the Harvester is the last hit points to discuss that. So the Harvester, again, you can tell this is another one of these physical sculptures here. You have always loved getting dirty and digging around in other people's filth. Those who have sided with the Grimm offer handsome bounty for those willing to harvest worms from the bodies of the fallen. You make a decent living for a number of years doing just you're damn good at it. So bottom feeder, D6. You awoke under a pile of your fellow legionnaires who were all slaughtered by the Grimm. For some reason, they let you. Why? The Grimm came to your rock. You laughed as they watched the hierarchy crumble and the wealthy oppressors meet their demise. The Grimm laughed with you. And skills, D6. Things like Grimm family. The Grimm can sense there is something about you they don't want to. And when rolling to see if infected by a Grimm parasite, if infected on the first roll, re-roll. So we did say we got agility, presence, strength, and toughness for our abilities. And we're rolling 3d6 for each ability, but some of our classes provided a modification for that. After rolling, then you generate, then use the table right to the right to generate each ability score from -3. Okay, that's what's really going to matter. After rolling 3d6, forget about that original number even existed again. So we're just concerned with the so we're not worried about keeping the original agility score. Hit points. Did this tell us like how many hit points you started with? Yep, hit points, toughness plus d6, for instance. So at 0 hit points, we talked about that when we were taking a look at the goals. Misspent youth, more tables to roll on. Where you've done is only a small dribble in the piss pot of your life. What you've seen, on the other hand, has shaped the meatbag you are today. Battle scars, D20. Roll once, flesh bot. Irritating idiosyncrasy. Roll once. 1d20. Roll once, flesh bot. Everything you've gone to or sacrificed can be found here. So irritating idiosyncrasies. So, okay, so this is like, oh, yeah, okay, I see over here. Starting equipment. Okay, so you roll D6, and you've got some weird stuff here. D12, and then D12. And I know some rules for those classes that said don't roll the second D12, gets dead. So what could you start with? I do have my dice over here. I should probably at least roll something right here. Pull out the old elder dice. So my idiosyncrasy would be the inside of your skull has an incessant itch where you believe is a worm you call Fred. You talk to Fred. Okay. D6 over here on things I'm starting equipment with. I get a hover plate. We'll carry 18 normal-sized items. Sometimes it wanders off. This is a cool world, Brian. This is a cool world. 5. Medkit. Plus D6 uses. Stops bleeding. Heals 1d4 hit point. D12. 8. Flare gun with 2 flares. 1 white, 1 blue. This is armor. D10. This is weapons, and that over there is armor. So here's rolling for our weapons. D10. Roll roll a D6 if you start with a tribute. Well, I don't know if I have a tribute or not. I'll roll D10, see what my weapon is. 8. Semi-automatic pistol fires 2 bullets at a single target. D6 plus 2 per bullet per round. Starts with 18 rounds. Ammo is hard to come by. 30 CR, 2 rounds, 1 CR. Okay, so a semi-automatic pistol. That sounds pretty good. And then I roll. Do I roll for armor? Probably not. Tier 1, no armor. Tier 2, leather jacket, thin grade carbon fiber. Tier 3, police grade carbon fiber body armor, or Tier 3, military grade suits and stuff. And a riot helmet. Dealing with encumbrance. What you can haul. You carry a total of strength plus 8 normals without issue. Past that point, agility and strength test increase the D2. Or after that point, agility and strength test increase the DR by 2. It's impossible to carry 2 times strength plus 8. Examples of normal-sized items include ratchet, urn with the remains of a dead pet, techno tablet. Larger than normal-sized items include corpse of a member of your legion, jetpack, wheeled storage. So yeah, the armor. I think the armor depends on the class. General equipment. Money is a hell of a thing. Before they spewed out of the Grimm, cred sticks were usable everywhere. Now, sometimes they're valuable, sometimes they aren't. Sometimes you got to trade, and sometimes you got to take. It said the Raider warlords on Marauder's cryosphere still use credit currency, and for the right price, you will sell anything your aching hearts. And for the right price, will sell you anything your desires. Laser pointer, paper, gas mask, medical production machine. So these are the favors. Something or something has smiled favorably upon you. Be luck, an ancient god, an alternate, a parallel universe, your fairy godmother, if you believe in such horseshit, or perhaps they sold to something scarier than they. Whatever case, you can call upon those favors if your luck has run out. Every class gains a number of favors. Once favors have been used up, they are regained after resting for a minimum of 6 hours. Roll the class's designated die each time favors are replenished. Deal maximum damage with 1 attack. Reroll a dice roll, yours or someone else's. Lower damage dealt to you by 6. Neutralize a crit or a fumble. One's tests DR -4. Optional. If your players have a soft spot in their heart for their characters and fear their inevitable death, give each PC an additional favor. Also, allow players to share their daily favors with other PCs in times of crisis. Perhaps the campaign will be a little less brutal, but really, why would you want that? So everybody gets one. Every class gains a number. Okay, this is determined by class. Every class gains a number of favors. Once favors have been used up, they can be regained after resting for a minimum of 6 hours. Okay. The powers that be and neuromancy. Oh, good morning, Stray. Good morning. Has the echo cleared up at all? Or going on? Powers that be. Long before the time could be calculated and conceived by man, there existed neuromantic energy floating through the cosmos. Neuromancy was harnessed to imprison they inside the mausoleum. Some of this energy has been contained and transferred into data chips, being known throughout the verse as tributes. Roll presence plus D4 at the beginning of each day to determine the number of times you can use neuromancy that day. These points can be used to activate tributes. When using holographic presence DR12 test. If successful, the power is activated. If the test is a failure, lose 2 HP and become disoriented and dizzy for the next hour. It will fail the most horrific way possible or cause a cataclysmic condemnation. When using a tribute, whether it succeeds, reduce the number of NP available by that day for 1. Okay. So self-improvement, I guess this is kind of like leveling up or changing your character. It's not so much as an echo, but a skip again? I wonder what is causing that. I don't see, it's not, the software isn't telling me that the connection is weak this time. Yesterday, the connection were all kinds of things going on. I'm gonna have to list back and figure out what the situation is, because that's weird. That's weird. I thought I had all this figured out. So, I haven't changed anything on my side. So I'll have to figure that out. I'll listen back and try to get that figured out before we go live again tomorrow morning. Self-improvement. Characters can be improved at the game master's discretion. This can happen at the end of a scenario, defeating certain enemies, or successfully returning a lost artifact, etc. When a character improves, this is what happens. Additional HP. Roll, that is 6. If the result is equal to or greater than your current hit points, increase by D6. Oh, I remember something like that with Vast Grimm, right? So the higher your hit points get, the more difficult it is to get more. So it's not exactly an inflationary system. You're getting more because you can end up topping out. I'm wondering how that plays, because that idea. I'm not for inflationary hit points, but this is another interesting idea that, well, we could calibrate toward a higher end, but we're expecting you to max out. So ability changes. Roll a d6 against each ability. If your roll is equal to or greater than the ability, it increases by 1 to a maximum of +6. If you roll below the ability, decrease it by 1. And see, I think that's Mork Borg as well. That just because you're changing here, this is what says improvement, but something happens, it doesn't mean your character can't get worse at something. Something may have beaten you up on the adventure that caused you to get worse. Abilities from -3 to 0 increase by 1 unless the d6 roll is a 1. If the roll is a 1, reduce the ability by 1, but never below -3. And able to use favors to do that, to reroll. So combat and tests. I guess the tests here. Okay, so this is really play right here. So we've got initiative here we looked at, but here tests. This is kind of what I was looking for in the beginning. Tests are made against a difficulty rating. So that's what DR is. To succeed, roll D20 plus your ability with a result equal to or greater than the DR. Creatures don't use abilities. They just roll D20 against DR. For example, in the cause of a radiation leak on a ship, DR 14, or not vomit from the instant loss of gravity 12. So D20 plus your ability with a result equal to or greater than the DR succeed. So difficulty ratings would be things like 6, so simple, people might mock you for failing. 8, routine, like fixing mama. 10, pretty simple, but not simply roll, but not simple enough to not roll. 12 is normal, 14, 16 is really hard. 18 should not be possible, but you might as well roll for it. Okay, so the difficulty rating. So at the melee, you're rolling for strength against D12. Ranged, you're rolling presence against or DR12. Defense test, DR12. So if enemy hits you, enemies attack once per round. So this is are you creatures don't use abilities. They just roll D12 against DR. So this is an active attack and defense, Brian. Is that the case? So you'd roll a melee attack, and then your opponent would also defend. In combat, it's not one of those things where you only character, right? Trey is suggesting drivers. I mean, maybe something updated or something behind the scenes, and something's changed it. Drivers are how close the mic is to another speaker. Well, maybe. I'll put the speaker a little bit further away and turn it down. We will see. Creatures don't do either hit or don't. Okay, creatures don't defend. If you roll a crit natural 20, double damage, and enemy's protection armor is reduced by 1 tier. If you roll a crit on defense, the PC gains 1 free attack. So I guess like an attack of opportunity. They open themselves up. Fumble, natural 1. The weapon is dropped, malfunctions, damaged, or completely lost. If you fumble on defense, PC takes double damage and armor is reduced by 1. When armor is damaged, penalties to strength and agility tests are modified. I'm going to turn that off as well, too. See. When armor is damaged, penalties to strength and agility tests are not modified. How long is a round? A round is enough time for all combatants to draw a weapon, move an attack, use tribute, etc. Swapping batteries counts as an attack. There are 10 rounds in 1 minute. Rest, react, and morale. So we talked about resting here. So, but also in before, but herbal medical pouch, biotech medical cartridge, nanite healing kit, biotech medical 4 also get healing stuff. And I started with a medical pack of some kind. Whoops. Battery charging. We talked about that. If it sounds batteries will be a big deal. Also, well, I had like a semi-automatic pistol, but I wonder if that required batteries or if it was actually used bullets. All over the verse starships. If you're looking if you're looking to score a starship, most folk are hard pressed to part with one that's in good working order. You'd have better luck scavenging one that's abandoned, stealing one from a legion weaker than your own, or buying somebody else's craft. And you've also credits to buy one. You'd better watch your back. There's bound to be folks out there who know you're loaded. If the GM has granted your legion a starship, visit 84 on the optional table package. Can't unselect this. Morale. Talked about the importance of morale rolls, or that we like morale rolls in general on the stream, so that not everything has to fight until the bitter end, and then also reaction rolls with creatures. Pharmaceuticals. I remember that. The life of the verse, like one of the character classes was based around pharmaceuticals or something, or was obsessed with them. Life in the verse these days is depressing, dangerous, and disgusting. A booming pharmaceutical exchange now thrives, but now as a black market where drugs are created by professionals and amateurs alike, sold, traded, and fought over. Uncommon but not rare, found in all forms, the seedy current and often unreliable drugs flows throughout the verse. Some of the more available and well-known farms are crash pads, small adhesive patches applied to the temple, doubles healing in short rest situations, 1 in 20 chance that you just don't wake up. Well, Berserker Stem, injectable, causes the use of Berserker state. 2 attacks per round, DR 15 defense. No problems. Rocket stick. Rocket sticks are a long, flexible straw tipped with a soaked end. They come 6 to a box. The user rubs these into their gums or other absorbent areas of the body. Increase agility by 1. Acceleration of physical abilities allows for the character to always gain initiative. 1 in 10 sticks is a sick stick and will cause the user to vomit uncontrollably for D2 rounds. I did 1 to 5 on a D20. Well, these are. I want to see what these other ones are. Astral Reds, pill form, +1 presence per pill for 6 hours. However, this adjustment is stackable. Taking 2 incurs a 1 in 6 chance of a psychotic break, permanently reducing the user to a drooling idiot. Taking 3 is at 1 to 3, D6 chance. Taking 4 is at 1 to D6 chance. Taking 5 or more causes an instant psychotic episode. Addiction 1 on D20. So, but you're getting +1 to presence per pill for 6 hours per pill. I want to have more. Nerve jammer, injectable. Nerve jammers cause the user to feel no pain in the membrane. All damage is recorded as 1/2 damage for up to 4 hours. After 4 rounds, the user needs twice as much rest as usual to recover the HP. Oh, we got more of these things in here. Lotus drop, Stardust, Yellow Jacket. Or note on addiction. Characters who become pharmaceutical products must continue to take products at least 1 time per day or suffer withdrawal. Withdrawal causes natural healing from rest to cease until a new dose is used. Addiction should be rolled every time a pharma product is used unless otherwise indicated in the description. Withdrawal causes natural healing from rest until a new dose is used. Brutal. So tributes, we've seen that come up. So what are those? Chips or drives. These tributes have been hacked by someone or something causes them to perform in ways they were not originally intended. Encrypted tributes, chips or drives. These tributes are clear as the day they were encoded. Oh, we have the infinite black. What that is. Light, natural or artificial, is extinguished in a 60-foot radius for D8 rounds. The darkness follows your tribute. So, the Grimm. What is this? The Grimm are here to infect their way into each and every host on the verse. Every time you enter the close range, it does seem rather that I'm sitting here drinking the liquid death, right? This liquid death day. It seems like you should drink liquid death when reading or playing Vast Grimm. Becoming the Grimm. No problem. Brian said he might have a meeting today. Glad to have you here. Thank you. Thank you very much for everybody. Check out Brian's channel, by the way. Said that before. But Brian's got a whole about how he's created the artwork and videos about him doing sculptures and things like that of fantasy and I suppose science fiction creatures as well. The Grimm are here to infect their way into each and every habitable host on this verse. Every time you enter a close range with something by the Grimm, there's a chance you'd be one of them. It starts with becoming infected. A small, devastating parasite known as the worm begins to grow inside you. It feeds on your insides until it takes control of your body, killing off any humanity you have left. For a time, the worm will stay in your husk as the Grimm. If it becomes strong enough, it will shed your skin, metamorphizing into a big worm. Unless noted otherwise, roll d6 when in close combat. If it's a 1 to 2, you have been infected. If you suffer damage resulting in an open, chances double. Roll 2d6. If fail, it means you have become infected with the worm. Once you have been chosen as a host of the Grimm, roll d6 to determine which of the gods has gifted you with this honor. Flesh worm, blood worm, brain worm, heart worm, gut worm. Very few have ever lived through all 6 types of worms. Oh, so this can happen to you. Very few have ever lived through hosting 6 types of worms. Those who have done so become known as Gathed. These survivors are relentless and ferociously hunted down by the Grimm for use in nasty occult rituals and embarrassing medical experiments. On the first day of infection, roll on that god's parasitic pains. Okay, so we're going to parasitic pains. This is your ailment for the day. Oh, for the day. On each subsidy, make a DR16 toughness. If you fail, re-roll for a different parasitic pain. You will never have the same ailment twice. Roll a pain you've already endured. The worm isn't done with you yet. Roll again. If you succeed the toughness test, you and the worm are working in harmony today. Roll on the parasitic players. Oh, okay. If during your parasitic pains you are required to your character to the GM, your PC is now considered the Grimm. Roll up a new character. You should probably have already done this. So, under your skin, the small but growing worm burrows its way across your body, ripping the flesh from your muscles. No matter how you try to squash the slippery snake, it evades you. It eats on your musculature to get larger. So, for instance, acidic pain would be skin crawler. You see the little bastard moving as it tears your skin, your muscles. It's so distracting. All presence tests are -1. Or skin flaps. Your skin hangs from your body where the worm has been burrowing away. You are far weaker than before you became infected. All toughness tests at -2. But on the other hand, what is a parasitic pleasure? Worm hug. Your insides are wrapped in a long coil of worm hugging your body, making you feel strong like bull. Toughness increases by 2 as long as the worm is with you. Cannot exceed +3. Or skin and bones. You lack the sustenance needed by the creature crawling under your skin. In the middle of the night, it gnaws a hole in your belly button and slithers away. Your belly button is now lint-free. So it went away? Shedding the worm has accelerated your capacity to heal. Regain D8 HP even if you've not eat or drink. This is the blood worm, the neuron, the Rametheus, the heart worm, the gut worm, the spinal worm, the dooms. So you're part of some legion. This is basically your gaming or something like that, I guess. As wars were waged across the verse, soldiers were deployed to combat the Grimm. Originally a term reserved for military personnel, now it's slang for any group of people willing to stick together to survive. Okay. Through your miserable history, while a part of another legion, one of these incidences made you who you are today. You're a legion. Or background stuff. Cataclysmic conditions. A PC who rolls the more than once on this chart watches helplessly as tribute collapses, creating a micro black hole. Anything within 10-foot radius DR14 toughness tests or gets sucked in. The more it consumes, the bigger it gets. I remember reading something about when do we have a cosmic condemnation for that happening. So at some time, if it does, this is where we roll. Random ships, none of Brian's sculptures there. I'd like to be able to do physical sculptures and integrate them. Random ships, Earth animal mutations, Astro zombies. I mean, this is a crazy setting. Brian thought of some really crazy stuff for this. The Astro zombies, muttering growls, the angry unliving shells are no more the Grimm than you or I. Somehow their instincts run deep, leaving them some form of muscle memory. Astro zombies will do their best to gnaw at you with their teeth, claw at you with their hands, and then feast on your brains. They'll do anything to feed their hunger. So this is like your bestiary, I guess. Big worm. Far larger than any worm crawl around inside your puny body. This thing of eating. Its 6 eyes look as hungry. Neon green saliva pools its teeth paw. There's the Grimm. Okay, so that's, I guess, all right, that's what we're looking at here. The Grimm. So they is not the Grimm. So the Grimm will inhabit any living vessel they can, or maybe it is. I'm not sure. The Grimm will inhabit any living vessel they can. You may find yourself up against someone of your old legion or a mutated polar bear. Easily distinguishable once fully overtaken by the Grimm. Eyes turn a bioluminescent blue with veins of electric pink. This color radiates from their eye sockets as it seeps under their skin until the flesh cracks. Encountering the Grimm. Any non-human creature could also be one of the Grimm. Once infected, increasing HP by 2, retain any natural traits. See special and GP above. Ragebot. Parasitic. Salazarite. Another sculpture. Sludge. Void Revenant. Another one of Brian's sculptures right there. Quick rules. Oh, well, I guess we needed quick rules. Almost all roles in this made by the players, it says. GMs determine their DR difficulty rating, control NPC stage for the story. The first time you play, use our random character creator, which you can find at vastgrimm.com. Don't get too attached. It's easier to die and even easier to become one of the Grimm. After you play once or twice, then roll up your own character. Okay, so bad things happen to the galaxy. Roll each day to see what's going on. Not only do the players roll to hit their opponents, they also roll if they get hit by the nasties. This is what makes the game brutal. The GM can't pull punches while hiding behind a GM screen. On an opponent attack, the player rolls defense. Okay, so I guess it is that this is the player rolls all the rolls. So it's not an attack and defend system. If you're attacked, you roll to full defense. That's saying the GM can't hide behind the screen to try to make this easier. You roll your agility test or your defense test. Armor can help with the amount of damage taken. If you've got armor, roll the appropriate die and subtract that from the damage you took. Tributes are the magic in Vast Grimm. Okay, so that's what the tributes were. I wish I'd seen this in the beginning. Quick rules. Tributes magic in Vast Grimm. I wish this front. This needed to be at the front of the book. Tributes are the magic in Vast. If you have any tributes, roll presence plus D4 at the start of each. This is a number. That is the number of neuromancy points you have to activate tributes that day. To use a tribute, spend NP and make a presence DR12 test. If you fail, lose 2 HP. Try not to fumble. You won't like it if you fumble. These are additional abilities your PC starts with, and them unique from other characters in the game. What one different, and your skills will be on your character. Staying alive, we don't want to get to 0. One last thing before you start rolling those shiny math rocks. Each PC starts with a number of favors. These will save your ass. There are several things you can do when you use a favor. When all else fails, use one. See page 50 or at the end of the book. And that was determined. How many of those had was determined by your class. Oh, okay. And then this is probably a good place to stop for an hour anyway. So death aboard the Conundrum. Introductory adventure for Vast Grimm. So we've got an introductory adventure in there, but we won't go into that. So what do you think? Trey says, even if for some reason you don't use the rule set, this is a unique setting for inspiration. Yeah, it's a cool setting. So I got to give props to Brian for that. This is definitely a really unique, crazy kind of set of rule book with all of its art and stuff like that is going to help you out getting into the setting. And Trey says, so much easier to read than Mork Borg. Yeah, we had problems with that when we were going through Mork Borg. I wish that quick start rules and stuff like that and what we were trying to do had been able to find first. We got sent to the summary on the back, but the quick rules that kind of gave me an idea about what all those things were. I'm going to cut out of here now instead of going and doing the big rocks. I'm going to try to. I've got a list of a whole bunch of things I got to get done. This weekend's going to be crazy, and I just have to add to this list. I got to download this and listen to it and see what the problem is, because obviously I don't hear it from this side, but I'll listen to it, and I'll see what I can do to try to fix whatever problem it is that we're suddenly having. So I really want to get that fixed by tomorrow. So I've added a list. So see you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow morning.